There's an old saying some of you will know to be true, that the best 2 days of the visits with your grandchildren in your home are the first day and the last day. Someone told me that a few years ago, and there is truth to that saying. We just recently went through a week, my wife and I, with having 2 of our 4 grandchildren in our home, in our annual time together with them, and activities and work around the house and everything, and it was an enjoyable time. I recognize that it's a tremendous opportunity to be able to see your grandchildren, 2 generations from you, be a part of their lives. I was thinking about this. I go back and I can remember very well my grandparents. I had the privilege and time with them and getting to know them when I was a boy. And now I see my grandchildren now going into their teen years, and it is a great privilege. And I realize I'm kind of standing at a pinnacle. I can look back 2 generations and know my history, my story, and I can see my story continuing into the 2nd generation from me now, and have some small part in beginning to shape that and to think about that. And that is a tremendous blessing. There's a scripture that I thought about in regard to this. It's Psalm 127. We know that one quite well. It's a familiar one. It says that unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it. Unless the Lord guards the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. And it goes on, just a very short psalm, and it says in verse 3, "Behold, the children are a heritage from the Lord." A gift from God, a part of our life. That is our heritage, one way or the other. However they turn out, whatever they do, they are our legacy, and they will write and continue our story. It says, "The fruit of the womb is a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them." We only have 4 grandchildren. We had 2 sons and 4 grandchildren, so maybe not as full a quiver as some people have, but it's been adequate and it's been rewarding. The psalm concludes, "They shall not be ashamed. They shall speak with their enemies in the gate." Now that phrase is an interesting one, speak with their enemies in the gate. The gate is really, in the context of Scripture in the ancient world, the gate was the county courthouse. The gate was where the civic administration of a county, a town, was handed out and taken care of. And what the Scripture is saying is that your heritage will speak with your enemies, or just people, and they will speak of you, for you, in the gate. The continuity of reputation and generations in a town, in a community, is very important. How we raise our children is extremely important. I've had a couple of situations personally in the last few years where I had to go to the gate of the city. One of the cities was where I grew up, and deal with some business that had to deal with the generations and make sure that it was done right, so the reputation of my family name was kept intact. And a more recent one where we had to go also to law to deal with a situation in order to maintain the integrity of a generational matter. And things get messed up in the generations and the families, and it all becomes very interesting, as we know. But when it's done right, it works. And this scripture talks about doing it God's way, letting God, His way, His laws, build a community, build the house. And when that happens, there's good things that take place. And so I was thinking about that with 2 of my grandchildren here in recent times, and the visit that we had with them. Very thankful to have that. To be able to interact with them for a week and shape them in somewhat through just memories that we might have for a week into their future, and hopefully leave a little bit of an imprint for them. I hope that you can do the same with yours, and I hope that this scripture will help you to understand something regarding doing it God's way and the legacy that is left, and making sure as best we can that they are a heritage for us, not only today but in the future. Something to think about in the midst of a lot of other bad news and a lot of other frustrations of the world when it comes to family, Scripture, and God. SBT Daily. Join us next time.